The person you were standing against, Claire, former political advisor to Dominic Raab, which is a horrible sentence.
Yeah. But apart from the former bit.
But do you remember, Chris, when we were researching that role of the SpAd, how extraordinary it was that a lot of policy was being made up by people who were about 12.
Yeah, people who had done, PPE or the equivalent thereof. Of course, PPE is a different thing now, isn't it? But
we had more people who had done PPE.
yeah. But people who'd done politics, philosophy and economics at Oxford or similar and had gone into sort of think tanks or some form of political PR were the people who were making that kind of policy. And ministers and their sort of senior advisors are so busy that actually all of that stuff is going to roll downhill to the people who have got a bit of time or at least no life or the energy of an early 20-something, and that's who ends up forming the papers that then go on to become policy.
Mm-hmm. And as Claire's found out, they then become MPs.
Well, and that's the other thing, is that each of those people, they're not thinking in terms of what's the best policy at this point. Almost all of those people have their own political ambitions, and the SpAd role is a springboard, as far as they're concerned, into something else, so that hopefully, eventually, they get parachuted into a constituency.
And sometimes it's about coming up with a policy that, as you say, is just there as a kind of, look what I've done, look what I've come up with. Because I'm involved at the moment with the government is putting a question mark over public service broadcasting, maybe privatising Channel 4. What I'm hearing is that Boris Johnson himself is not the least bit interested in it, but this is Oliver Dowden wanting to show that he can do something so he can earn some brownie points.
I mean, what he could do is save the arts. That would be the ideal thing for him to do in his position.
As
but he seems to
Secretary,
have stepped back from that and gone for attacking the arts instead, which is an interesting pivot.